there guys, it's Kim George here from YourChicGeek.com, and I want to welcome you to a brand spanking new video where we're going to be talking about something that I have really gotten into that I absolutely love, and that is none other than publishing children's books on Amazon KDP. So before I get off into this video, I'd love for you guys to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. But let's get off into the video. So you guys know that I love publishing low content books, things like journals, notebooks, all of that. All of that is fantastic. It's super great. But as I had gotten along in my journey, I really wanted to challenge myself to learn how to create other types of books and publish them on Amazon. And so a while back, I came across something that I saw from one of my favorite creators, which is Nuria over at The Home Boss. Hey Nuria, what's up? She's an absolute sweetheart. But anywho, she had talked about her experience with publishing children's books. And so I was really intrigued. And so I said, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to look a little bit more into this and just try to figure some things out. So before I get into just kind of talking about that, again, I wanted to publish something different. I wanted to publish something that couldn't be as easily copied and things like that. And so I felt like the children's book would be the best way to go. And so what I decided to do was I decided to invest in her children's book course, and it is absolutely amazing. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, her course, guys, is really chocked full of great information that you can use to publish your children's book. Okay, so her course is called the Children's Book Creator course, and I basically, again, it's just chocked full of information. And as you can see here, I think Nuria has over 9 different modules in the course that go through everything from coming up with a concept for your book. She even gives you a list and some examples of topics that you could potentially cover, how to structure your book, how to build your story, how to create your interior. And actually, this was probably one of the best, kind of over the shoulder parts that I've ever seen in a course, where she's actually in her course showing you how she created a book that she actually has published right now on Amazon. And I mean, it is so detailed, so thorough. She just did a fantastic job with this, and I just really thoroughly enjoyed this course. Okay, she also talks about how to come up with your book title, your book descriptions, how to create your cover, how to publish your book, and the whole 9 yards. So again, I invested in this course, and it was really one of the best investments that I have made in a super long time. So I went ahead, took the course, and I actually was able to come up with this little book. Yay! Which is called CJ's Weather Adventure. I created this book in honor of my pet cat who died. He was really such a sweet little guy. He actually looks just like this cat. He was a tabby. And I came up with the story, and it was just really a fun process for me. And it was just a way for me to kind of give an ode to him, and just kind of write a little story that I felt that toddlers would enjoy. Okay, so basically, again, this is CJ's Weather Adventure, and it's basically just teaching little toddlers different things about the weather. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this so you guys can kind of get a look inside of the book and what it looks like, because again, I really had fun. Now, the reason that I decided to take Nuria's course was because I knew that I wanted to create a children's book, but I didn't have a lot of coin to spend on illustrators. I know that a lot of people use them. At some point, I will use an illustrator, but I just didn't have a lot of money. And so I was figuring out, or trying to figure out, okay, how can I create something that still looks really professional and polished, but is not going to have to cause me to break the bank? Because illustrators, if you guys have ever worked with one, they can really get very pricey. And I mean, again, it's nothing wrong with that if you have a budget for it, but I didn't. So again, I, through her course, was able to create this book. And this is kind of how the book looks like on the inside of it. And this is the back page of it. You can see it's got a couple of reviews, which are 2 stars, 2 5-star reviews, which is great. And I do make some sales on this book. Okay, so that is really, really great. So now I'm going to take you over into the back end in Canva so I can show you guys a little bit more of the interior pages. So you can see here, this is the cover again. This is my dedication to Jay. That was the cat, my pet cat that passed away. And then here are some of the interior pages. And I did this all myself, guys. I think that I was able to go to Creative Market and find this little guy. He was in a set of different characters. And again, he became the main character for this little book. So you can see here, he's kind of going through the neighborhoods, and he's going to visit one of his friends, David the dog. And as he's going through, he is experiencing different types of weather. So it's basically teaching kids, you know, what you need to do, or toddlers, different things that you can do as you're going through weather, or, you know, whenever weather happens. And so again, like I said, this just really came out to be really fun, and I had just a really good time with creating this book. So here are some things that if you are interested in creating and publishing and illustrating your own book, definitely here are some tips that I would suggest for you, because like I said, I had a lot of fun with this, and I have gone on to create more books. But actually, for the new series of books that I have created, I did hire an illustrator. However, I didn't hire her to illustrate the entire book. I hired her to create and illustrate characters for me that I could build a story around. So it definitely comes out cheaper. She is phenomenal. I'm going to leave her link below in case any of you want to reach out to her and maybe use her for a children's book or something that you may want to create in the future. Okay, but these are some tips that I would suggest for you guys, for those of you who want to create a children's book. Okay, so tip number one is to make sure that you research topics to figure out, you know, what people are looking for when it comes to children's books. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this is to just, you know, use something like the AMZ suggestion expander. And then what you can do with that Chrome extension is, once you have that installed, you can go over to Amazon, put up an incognito window, and start typing in something like toddler books about, and then space, and just kind of see what is coming up in the search results. This is going to tell you what are people looking for when it comes to toddlers in reference to books. So it's going to give you a list of some things. You can take those lists, and then you can actually start going to dig a little bit deeper based on the subject to see how competitive it is, and to see if you have a shot at creating a book around that subject. Okay, so that is definitely tip number one. Tip number two, and something that I did, is, you know, you're going to have to write the story. Now, there's two ways to kind of go about this. I actually had someone write my story for me. And I think I paid maybe $60, I think, to have the story written. And they actually did a really, really great job. I'm actually going to leave the link to that specific person from Fiverr. But if you are a writer, you can definitely do that. Now, I've actually seen someone also use ChatGPT to write a children's story. I'm not sure if that's the way that I want to go, but if you're interested in maybe using that to kind of get some ideas on a story that you can write for children, or et cetera, you can definitely give that a go as well. Okay. So as I mentioned previously, in the next step, what I decided to do, and what you can do, is I use Canva Pro to do the design and add the illustrations to my book. So basically, with Canva Pro, you're going to have to do two things like you do with low content books. You're going to have to create your cover, which is, there's my cover right here for the book, and then here is the back of the book for in Canva. And then you're going to have to create your interior. Okay, so here's the interior of the book, which I just showed you guys. And for the size, I think this is an 8.5 by 8.5, which is a pretty big square book. And it's a good size. It actually came out really, really good. And so those were the dimensions that I used. Now, I do want to caveat this with saying that this children's book is in color. So it is going to cost a little bit more to have this printed, but it's definitely going to be worth it, because you want your children's book to look really, really good. So I decided, of course, to use the premium color package to have this book printed, and it came out really, really well. Okay. Now, last but not least, I published the book to Amazon KDP, which you guys can see over right here, and that's what you'll have to do. So here it is right here. And this is how it came out. Now, I decided to put this in two different versions, which is the paperback version and then also the Kindle version. So that's another reason that I do love publishing children's books is because you can actually put them out there in 2 different versions, right? And so there's 2 different ways that you can actually earn an income from the one book: paperback version and then also the Kindle version as well. And like I said, I know that there's a whole thing around using professional illustrators, and I think that if you do have a budget, definitely do that. Even if you don't have a budget to spend on hiring an illustrator to do your books for you, you still can definitely do a really great job yourself. Okay, so as you can see here with CJ's book, this book came out to me, I think, really cute. Again, I went over to Creative Market, found a little package with a little cat in different poses, and was able to kind of work that into the story and build a story around it. And as you can see, based on the ratings, people seem to really like it. And so I'm very proud of this book. Like I said, I am working on a new series of children's picture books right now at the moment. And I think I'm on book number 3. Now, again, I'm using a different approach with my characters in this book by actually outsourcing and have someone to illustrate those characters, because I knew that for this specific character in this book, I needed for the character to do different things, to have certain poses and things like that. So for that reason, I did decide to go ahead and spend a little bit of money to have them do the illustrations for me. Now, again, if you don't have the money to do the illustrations, you can go over to a place like Creative Fabrica to find different characters that you can add to your book. If you don't have the money to pay to have an illustrator do your illustrations for you, you can definitely head over to places like Creative Fabrica or Creative Market to find little characters that you can use in your children's book. So these are just some cute little examples of what I mean. But again, in Nuria's course, she really does go through and show you how to do all of this. She really doesn't leave any stone unturned. And again, it was a great investment because one of the books that I recently published using her guidance in her course, it has been ranking pretty well, and I'm kind of shocked, like, wow. So it's been fun. So I just wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about that and the process that I went through to create my little book about CJ, how much fun I had with it, and the course that I used to guide me along the way. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I'd love for you again to like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Are you planning to publish any children's books, or what kind of books are you planning to publish for this year? I'd love to know. You can drop them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Now, also, I'm going to have a link to Nuria's course in case you're interested in taking a look at the course and things like that, and maybe even enrolling in the course and joining, because it really is a really great course, and she has a fantastic community of very supportive people. And so I think you'll enjoy it if you do decide to venture off into it. Okay, take care, guys. Be safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.